All right, guys, we're back. We are back. Preseason game 1 versus the Lions, who have preseason game 2. Very important tidbit there. Couple notes from Mark Raheem Morris. No Pennix, no Cousins. Said that on a Monday. No Pennix, no Cousins. A lot of young guys are going to play. We made a bevy of moves. We signed a whole lot of camp bodies. I don't expect any. I'm not going to go through them because I don't expect many or any of them to stay with the team because we're already so deep as a roster. We literally signed all of those guys so we wouldn't have to play any of our young guys or our starters. So I need you Falcons fans to be patient. This is going to be game 1, and we're not seeing QB1, not seeing QB2. Probably won't see running back 1 or 2 or wide receiver 1 or 2. So it's going to be a whole lot of players that you may not know. There's going to be a whole lot of players that are fighting for roster spots. But if you're really into it like I am, these are some of the battles. And this is a game where you get to see some of the battles of the guys that may make the team or go to the practice squad. Also, remember, the Lions already played a game. They played in the Hall of Fame game, and they were god awful. I think 34-7 against the Chargers. Embarrassing. Embarrassed. But what that does is give them the experience of we've gone through game day preparation. We've gone through game day meals. We've gone through travel. We've gone through everything that there is to go through because we had that game already. So they're already, shout out to them, they're going to have 2 preseason games on the road. First 2. That's crazy. But they are going to be at an advantage because they'll be focused. I'm sure Dan Campbell will light a fire under their ass for how bad they looked. And again, they'll have the experience of going through game week already this year. So again, don't focus on the score. Focus on the battles. Here's some position battles that we're going to look at for game 1. Again, QB3, Easton Stick versus Emory Jones. Going to look at the final wide receiver spot between Nick Nash, David Sills, DJ Chark, Casey Washington, and Chris Blair. We're going to look at running back 3. Carlos Washington looks to solidify that spot. And then we'll look at the O-line, who's going to be the swing tackle, and will Nuzul play, and how he'll look in his first game. With so many young players, as Raheem Morris said, there's not going to be many guys that are going to sit out the whole game. I wouldn't be surprised if you got one or two drives out of some of them, like Rook or Leonard Floyd or somebody like that. But when it comes to actually playing the whole game, we're not going to see anybody. But I would love to see how our O-line is going to gel with Nuzul. Defensive wise, nickelback, Bowman versus Alford. Talked about it. Backup cornerback, Clark Phillips and Natrone Brooks and Kobe Bryant. That's going to be a fun one. Safety, Xavier Watts versus Jordan Fuller. And can DeMarco Hellams solidify that third safety spot? I look for Xavier Watts to try to seize control. Jordan Fuller is a good player. Played with Raheem in Los Angeles. Knows the scheme, knows everything that they're doing. Xavier Watts is probably the younger, better player, though. So it's really all about how quickly he can pick up the defensive scheme. But I can't wait for this Xavier Watts versus Jordan Fuller battle, and I can't wait for this Billy Bowman versus D. Alford battle. What else we looking for against the Lions? Edge. Where does Jalen Walker line up if he plays? If Jalen Walker is even going to play, where does he line up? Exclusively on the edge, or do they slide him in to the inside linebacker position? Will we see a Divine Diablo debut? Are we going to go ahead and play most of the defense? I haven't read anything when they say they're not. I also haven't read anything when they say they will. I'm eager to see if Braylon Trice is going to play. I can't wait for our James Pierce Jr. and Khalid Kareem. I have read and seen so many highlights of those two. I've got to be able to see it translate on the field. Now, James Pierce Jr., don't lose your mind on the field. You know how players are. You know how people are. If they know that they can get up under your skin by talking trash or, poking you in the ear or whatever, they're going to do it the whole game to get you to lose your composure and get 15-yard penalties. Even with today, with you getting into it with all of the O linemen again, Raheem Morris had to step in and tell you to calm down. Again, I like the edge, but it's got to be controlled chaos. That's always going to be an issue for a player like you being James Pierce Jr. in your first couple of years, is being able to control the chaos. So I'm looking to see how you'll play and how all of these edge players will play. If we can get some, hopefully we can get some sacks and get some confidence in our defensive pass rush. And can D'Angelo Malone take Troy Anderson's spot? At this point, if D'Angelo Malone can play the inside linebacker and be the backup, Troy Anderson's out of here. This is your moment, D'Angelo. This is your moment to seize the day. D-line, not edge and linebackers, the D-line. I'm excited to see the young bucks, Rukoro, Dorless, Harrison, Graham. What are our new additions? What do the new additions look like? Veterans like Morgan Fox. I want to see how all of these big-bodied defensive linemen fit in Ulbricht's scheme, in a 3-4 attacking scheme versus a reading defense. Jimmy Lake, I think, ran a 2-4-5. That ain't it. 3-4-4-3 with these guys, and being able, if our secondary can be good enough to where we can, match the edge and be able to stick to a receiver for 3 seconds. If we can get to the quarterback within 3 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds, 4 seconds is a lot. Within 3 seconds at the most, crazy. And we haven't even talked about blitzing yet. But I really want to see, back to what we were talking about, I really want to see Brandon Dorless, Zach Harrison, and Tyquan Graham. I want to see them work together, and I want to see them work with Rook and Anyamata. Again, we are a deep team, y'all. If we can stay like this and stay healthy and put the best 11 on the field for every formation, it may not be the same 11. It'll be the best 11 on the field for the defense and offensive formations and special teams, Young Weku. We could have a pretty good showing this season. Y'all let me know in the comments what position battles you're watching. Y'all let me know in the comments what players you'll be watching going into this game. I'll talk to you guys about who I'll be watching, Bowman and Alford on defense, as well as all of the wide receivers on offense, and Easton Stick versus Emory Jones. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of episode 3 of our Camp Confidential series, Falcons Training Camp 2025. This is preseason game 1, preseason game 1 preview, as well as training camp update. I appreciate you guys for liking, following, and subscribing. And if you haven't, remember to like, follow, and subscribe Dive Team Media on all of your socials, so X, Thread, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, whatever else social media platform will be out. We're there as well. Follow the Splashcast and follow any LOA Amaker. Follow all of our Dive Team Media affiliates. Shout out to Falcons Focus for providing the updates, the update spreadsheets and graphics for training camp that we used here on the Lunch Break podcast. We will see you guys probably Saturday morning to react to preseason game 1. Love y'all. Peace.